are back with another episode of the JDA Show, episode 13, coming at you on a Wednesday, July 29th.
July 29th.
Jesse, Andy, what's going on?
What up?
What's going on, everybody? Happy to be here. Episode 13.
Are you, though?
No, of course I am.
I'm actually kind of feeling that way right now.
You don't want to be here right now?
No, I'm a little tired.
You can leave if
I
you
had
want.
a nice round of golf today. It's been a good day.
Ooh, long day for you? Yeah, hey, listen, I've been baking in the sun the last 3 days. You know how freaking hot it's been out there?
You haven't
So you
heard
can't
already,
devote an
Andy,
hour
You're
to
just
the
cruising
audience?
around in your fancy little car there, AC blasting your face, stuffing your face full of McDonald's French fries.
That's unfair.
I'm out working my ass off in the beating sun.
Well, that's not my fault. And I think you can give an hour
Where
of
did
your
I
time
go
to the
wrong?
audience. All right? That's all I got to say.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to start the show off and get in. Since last time we talked, the Red Sox have started their season. Things not exactly going well as I think many expected. Big news broke yesterday. A bunch of Patriots players opting out of this upcoming season. Want to talk about all these players not following COVID-19 protocol, like Lou Williams, guy can't stay out of the strip joint.
Hey.
David Pastrnak, the Marlins situation. We're going to go a little around the NFL with some topics. Do a little betting. We got some games coming up this weekend. NBA's back, NHL's back. And then, like I said, starting back up. So I want some predictions heading into the NBA and NHL bubbles. And then we're going to bring back the callers, or not bring back, a new caller segment.
I would have loved to keep that a secret, but that's okay. Let's
Yeah,
get
well,
to
I
it.
didn't really get what you were trying to say to me.
Yeah,
but
it's all good. So we have a caller segment.
Why does it have to be a secret?
It would have been cool to just go right into it at the end. We have a
Really,
little
zing 'em with it.
unnamed segment for the end, but that's all right.
Okay, so with the Red Sox, 1-4 right now. I think the game's tied upstairs right now, 3-3 in the seventh.
They'll probably blow it.
Yeah, they'll probably will blow the game.
They suck.
There's so many problems with this team, and it really is
They
as
do,
simple
they
as that.
suck.
But I was excited for the season to start to watch some real sports, and this team, they got that win Friday night. 60-game season. Who do they bench in Game 2? Your
Xander.
best player. How does that make any sense? That you're going to bench your best player on Game 2 in a 60-game season. This isn't a marathon.
Yeah.
Not only do I think the
It's a
team
sprint.
sucks, I'm already not a fan of our manager, Ron. What's his name? Ron Ronick? Renicky. Yeah. If you have such a mellow, soft-spoken guy like Xander Bogaerts already complaining and coming out with these cryptic comments like, I think he said... I don't
Something
know.
about the pitching staff.
Yeah,
right?
he's like, it's very hard for us to go. It's a lot of pressure for us to go out and have to put up 7-8 runs on the board. Like, if he's already coming out and saying that, I think he knows that the pitching staff is like. I think he might know how bad they are compared to we think they are.
How much does that fall on the manager, though? How much is it those nerds pushing all the buttons with their analytics, with the opener?
Maybe more like the GM.
Yeah, the GM,
Yeah,
too, because
yeah.
this guy... What the fuck? I can't remember his name. From Tampa.
I don't know, the young guy.
Hein
Blum, yeah.
He's a nerd. He's one of these young, Ivy League school that's all about the analytics. And that's what's destroying the game of baseball.
That's part of the reason that, it's part of the problem, but not all of it. Shitty sport to begin with, but
Baseball was such a boner killer for sports coming back.
Yeah.
Especially, trying to watch the Red Sox, which I haven't. I've watched like a few innings. I can't sit down
I've
and
watched
watch
more of the
Red
MLS
Sox.
is Back tournament than MLB baseball, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
I watched an MLS game last Friday. It was horrible. It was a 0-0 draw the entire time. It was not fun or entertaining. But you could say the same about some of these baseball games, especially the Red Sox games when they're legitimately out of the game in the third inning.
Yeah.
And I think
Still tied right now.
you see these guys, like I've watched the majority of these games, they look so defeated at the beginning of these games because they're out of it right to begin with.
Yeah.
And I think it's them falling behind. It's also ownership and management gave up on this team before the season started, trading everybody away, trading Price away, trading Betts away.
Yeah.
And you can see that. And there's just no, urgency or, it's like they've already packed it in 5 games into the season. And I swear to God, next time I'm watching the game and Rafael Devers' fat ass does not run out a ground ball, I'm going to lose it.
Hey,
like that. The
come
dude
on.
needs to
He's
lay
too
off the
cool.
fucking ice cream.
He's been walking.
Yeah, he's like
No, he doesn't
Manny
hustle down the
Ramirez.
line. He jogs down the line.
Yeah.
The kid's younger than me. You
Yeah.
should be fucking sprinting down the line.
Hey, you name drop David Price, man. Wouldn't we be a lot better off if we still had him in our lineup? I'm sure it wouldn't make too much of a
Well, he
difference.
would have opted
but
out. because he opted out. So he wouldn't even be here either.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have.
Then we would just have him on the books. He's
been,
already on our books, but yeah,
that would have been some good content. I actually think him opting out did save us some money. But I mean, if there was any guy who would opt out of the season, it absolutely would be David Price.
My guy, thanks for that good relief outing you had in the playoffs in our title championship run.
Yeah, I had that one good
6 or 7 inning relief outing. But
every dog has its day. But another guy that I think is just vastly overrated by Red Sox fans is Andrew Benintendi, who is hitting a...
Okay, but do you think that's why the Red Sox suck?
No, but this is my... No, yeah, I'm bringing it up because this is my attack
not
on the fan base. Yes, he is.
No,
he's never hit above 300. Okay.
And he's in his 3rd season with the team.
4th. This is his 4th.
Okay, but he's played in 3 full seasons.
Okay, that's fine. He still's never hit above 300.
Well,
hitting above 300, maybe what, like
280s,
50 players in the league hit above 300?
290, yeah, I mean...
Probably more than that.
In the outfield, too, he's hitting in the 280s or 290s as an outfielder.
He hit 260-something last year.
Okay, but he still had... Power. I think he came close to 30 home runs. I mean, in the year before that, I know he hit above 260.
30 home runs. He's not...
one of those years I thought he was.
And he did save us with that catch in the playoffs when we won the title. He's a great outfielder.
He's not a bad outfielder.
He's a great outfielder.
No, I'm not going to look at that one play. I think he's a pretty good outfielder.
For his age, he's a solid outfielder.
Yes.
And he's a solid hitter.
But he's not like an amazing outfielder.
He's a good overall player.
Yeah.
I don't think he's overrated. I don't think anyone's calling
him.
You're
taking your shots
overrated.
I don't think, honestly. I don't think anyone's calling him like the next coming of fucking Mookie Betts.
People would never trade that guy. People would never trade Benintendi.
I wouldn't trade him either.
Oh, he's got his cute little nickname, Benny. Everybody loves the guy. He's not good.
He's not good. Sorry, what's not to love?
The fact that he's not good?
He is good.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's average. He's maybe slightly above average. That's it.
I would call him a good outfielder.
Okay, yeah, fine. He's good defensively.
Like as an outfield player, he's a good player.
Do you need to go out and get another big bat in this lineup?
No. Okay, listen. He's good. Okay.
Oh, so he's good.
He's good. You're right. He's good. But he's overrated by the fan base is my point.
I don't know. I don't think anyone's...
Every year,
I think this is more of an issue with the fans than it is.
Yeah, I agree. And you said you're coming at the wrong guy. I don't think...
Who else am I going to come at? I called Devers fat. I can come at other guys, too.
You're running out of guys to come at, yes, but like...
Benintendi can't hit in the leadoff spot. They tried it out last year. It didn't work. And it's still not working.
I don't think he's a leadoff hitter.
One hit all year.
Sure, one hit all year. Everyone has a slumps.
5 games.
Every single year we hear, Benintendi's going to have this big breakout year.
Nobody says that every year.
Yes, they do.
No, they
Yes, they do. Do you go on Red Sox
and he
Twitter?
It's not like he doesn't develop, or it's not like he doesn't deliver. Like
what do you mean?
He hasn't had one bad season for us.
I just told you last year he hit 260 something. That's a bad year.
That is not that bad for an outfielder. Given his stolen bases, RBIs, and home runs, plus his outfielding, that's not a bad year.
He's base running. He's running the 2 outs in the last 2 nights.
Why are you
trying to talk up a 260 as being a good year?
High 260. That's almost 270.
260 is pretty
267.
mediocre.
I mean, why you keep saying that it's good for an outfielder too? Some of the outfielders are some of the best hitters in the game. For a left fielder hitting 260 something, whatever he hit last year, he's not. I mean, he's not a bad player.
I still think he's a good player.
He's okay. He's a nice little piece. He's nothing more than that, and we're not seeing any progression in him.
He is a good player.
Okay, of course you say that.
What do you want to do with him? You think trade him?
I mean, for an arm, maybe after this year.
I would trade him for an arm.
I mean, I wouldn't trade him right now until he starts playing better and his value gets up, though.
Yeah.
Because right now you're not going to get much for him.
Oh, so over his career with the Red Sox, his first season with the Red Sox in 100 at-bats, 295. The next year, 90 RBIs, 155 hits, 270. Our title season, 290, 87 ribbies. And the year after that, 267 with 70 ribbies. That's really not bad for an outfielder.
So he's okay, but he's overrated by the fan base.
If you couple that with everything else he does, he's a good player.
Like what? He doesn't know how to run the bases. He doesn't know how to run the bases.
He doesn't. He hardly knows how to run.
He has a killer
You ever
arm.
see him run?
No.
He runs like a 5-year-old.
I think he runs hard. His career batting average is 275. He's got 50 dingers in 4 years. That's good numbers.
That's not hitting for power, though.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a power hitter. That's a bonus.
So wait. So his batting average isn't that good, and he doesn't hit for power.
275 is not a bad batting average. That's well above the overall MLB average.
Okay, that's fine, but people hold him to this pedestal. He's not that much better than JBJ.
I'm just
He's
saying
really
that
not.
I don't think
he's really
people
not.
hold him to this pedestal that you're
Well,
claiming.
if you want to
they
talk
do.
about overrated, JBJ is wildly overrated.
No, I think we've had this debate on the show along me and him. Yeah,
and he's
he
had
is.
over 20 stolen bases in 2 out of his 4 seasons as a starter. So 2 out of his 3 seasons as a starter, because he's only been a starter for 3 seasons. So
Still
20
runs
stolen
in the house.
bases is a good feat. I'm fine with what he does.
That's what you do. I know. You look at the bright side with every player. I look
No,
at the
man.
dark side.
That's,
No, that is what it is. You think JBJ's good too, which he's not.
that's
He's
besides the
literally
point.
not.
I know you're getting beaten in this Benintendi
I'm pretty sure.
discussion.
I'm not
I'm
getting
pretty sure
beaten.
last
Yeah,
time
you
we
are.
had this conversation.
We've already determined that he can't hit for power, and his batting average is average at best.
275 is above
he's-
average.
But Jesse loves guys
That's
that can
not,
play
like, way
defense
above
and
average,
barely
though.
run the bases.
I mean, I'd love to find out what the league average is for hitting, because I
can
bet
look it up
that's
right
almost
now.
20 points above average.
I still don't care about that. The guy's not that good.
He is.
No, he's not.
He is.
Okay.
He's clutch. He's a good player.
Why is
And he's-
he clutch? Why
and
is he
he's
clutch? Because he
25.
made one diving catch in the outfield that makes him clutch?
He's had more hits than
Really?
that.
What
Oh,
are they then?
you're going to be one of those guys?
In
No, you're just talking the talk.
2018, the league batting average was 248.
So he's 30 points above average for his career. Like, come on. He's a good player. He's not
okay.
He's not average. He's not just a little above average. He's a good player. At
No.
25 years old?
I would agree with that.
Thank
He's
you.
not progressing anywhere. He's not getting better anywhere. So maybe he'll just be
for
a solid
this
player.
5-game sample size. Like, are you kidding me?
Look what he did last year.
Some players don't come into their all-star status until they're 28, 29, 30 years
he's
old.
running to outs all year. I'm not going to give this guy a free pass.
Oh, it's not
He's-
giving him a free
yes, he is.
pass.
He's
You're
not
jumping
that
down
good.
his throat. That's what I would
Yeah,
call
you
He's
it.
really
not
are.
that good. He's
Okay,
not.
well, we're going to move on because
Yeah,
this
'cause
isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, we're just going
You
to talk in
lost.
circles.
That's
I didn't lose anything.
Okay, yeah.
How did I lose?
We'll see what the
How
people
did I
have
lose?
to say. Because
did I lose?
I disproved
Yeah,
what
Oh,
you
why?
had to
Why
say.
post the fanboys that listen to our show that
See,
are going to
that's
take your
that's
side?
what your problem. Your problem is with the fanboys.
Yes,
It's
it
not
is. I
Andrew
said that to
Benintendi.
start it. It's
So
not
what?
him.
Oh,
It's
now
the
everybody
fan
that
base.
So why do you?
Now
have to,
everybody that listens to our show is a fanboy, according to RJ.
Yeah,
why
the
do you have
majority
to-
of them are.
Why do you have to like try to make your point by saying Andrew Benintendi isn't that good when you could just make your point and say, "Fuck you, fanboys! Stop overrating Andrew Benintendi."
Because
You know
yes,
he's
that's
good.
true. And yes, he's not that good.
Whatever.
I'll settle with he's good, leaning towards average. That's
No.
the best you're going to get out of me.
I mean, I don't
Because he
need
hasn't
any
shown
more
any
from
more
you.
than that.
It doesn't surprise me that you would take this stance, but because it's typical to your anti-views.
I mean, it
but
doesn't surprise me that you go the other way.
I have the numbers to back
No,
my
you've
claim
never
up.
had a negative thing to say about a Boston sports player,
That
and that's
is-
a fact.
that is just not
That's
true.
a fact. We'll move on now. Want to move on?
I mean,
you said you wanted
we
to
can
move
move on, but that's not true, and everybody knows that.
I don't know about that.
Okay, what's next?
So is the season over? 1-4 tie game right now.
yes. No, actually, no. See, I was going to say earlier when you were saying that the Red Sox seem to struggle to have any sort of enthusiasm going out into these games. I figure like every team that's playing right now should be excited because it's a short season. Like anybody could get in at the end of the year.
Such meaningful games
Yeah.
compared to the regular and normal 162.
That's what I'm saying. So like, especially a team like the Red Sox who have a solid lineup, still one of the best lineups in the American League. If you can get by with that over the course of 60 games rather than like having your true colors show over the course of a regular full season, then you could still hop in, still maybe even.
Well, we forgot to even say there's 16 teams that make it in now. 16 out of 30.
yeah.
They bumped it up.
So
I mean, would he barely
not
finish
over.
above 500?
I would say maybe even there
But
could
if
be teams that are like a game or two under 500 that potentially get
and then
in.
at the end of the year, if their bats
honestly.
get hot while they're rolling through the playoffs, they could hit their way through, deep into the playoffs. But
Just the pitching staff is so bad. They only can have one quality
It's
start
hard
with
to-
Eovaldi. Nobody else can
It's hard
pitch.
to hope like with that pitching staff.
yeah,
Who knows when Erod's coming back? Because he's having like heart issues from the coronavirus now. So I mean, that guy misses a couple more times through the lineup. That's a couple games you could have.
I would say that it's not over yet. It's a little early, but like if they fall to something like 4-12, 3-10, 5-15, it's over. Book it. It's over.
Well, you look, they're 1-4 right now. If they lose this
so
game, they're
they're
1-5
They're on their way to being over.
with one more game in New York.
1-5 would be a tenth of the way through the season.
Yeah. Yeah, wow.
6 out of 60
and then
games.
they got to go to New York and play
The
play
Yanks?
Yankees, who they could easily get swept.
Yeah, well, I mean, they, on paper, should absolutely get swept.
Their best hope, which we're going to talk about the Marlins in a little bit,
Yeah.
is that the Marlins season gets canceled and they get a bunch of free wins or something for a bunch of forfeits and get 6 or 7 free wins.
We play them 2 series?
Who, the Miami?
Marlins.
I actually don't know for sure, but I know
Do we even play them?
Yeah, because we only play the AL East and NL East, and I'm like 90% sure Miami's
They're in the NL East. That would make
we wouldn't
sense.
play 'em.
NL
I don't know
East.
how many games.
Is there an NL South? No, right?
It's Central and West and East.
Central, East, West, yeah.
My issue is I'm starting to think, like, are they trying to lose? Like, are they trying to tank this thing? Because why is Bogarts coming out of the lineup? That makes zero sense.
And he's not the only. I can't name the other, but I've looked at these lineups and they're not playing their best bats every game. So, but it's not like it's the NFL draft. It's not like it's the NBA draft. There's fucking like 30 or 40, 50 rounds.
Yeah,
even?
there's insane.
It's not
rounds.
MLB is not the sport that you tank for picks. Like, it's just not what you do.
It's a long process because these guys, they don't come in the league for like 3 or 4 years. I think Aaron Judge is almost like 30.
Yeah.
I think, and he's like he's been in the.
I mean, yeah,
maybe not almost.
No,
30,
but I know what you're trying to say.
I mean, you have all the time. You have like 23, 24-year-old rookies.
How pathetic would it be? This is our second season removed from a title. We already had a disappointing year after, and then we're already tanking for MLB draft picks.
That's what they do.
I mean, you got to figure that they're probably tanking so that they can, stock a farm system back up after Dombrowski.
That's a decent point.
But the thing is, though, they're not a small market team. Small market teams tank because they can't draw in free agents,
and they don't
have the money.
Yeah.
So the thing is, that's why the fan base gets mad because they know that the ownership has the money. They just don't want to go over the luxury tax. Which, I mean, I get them wanting to come under it because they've been over it the last few years. But I feel like you can come under it and put out at least a somewhat like this pitching product they're putting out is not major league quality. It's not. No. Like, it's one bum after another.
It might be one of the top 5. Like, it's in the bottom 10 worst lineups in the league, and maybe even it's like one of the worst 5. Or
it could be
for a Red Sox lineup. It could be.
We're not going to talk like 100
no,
years.
Of course.
But, I mean, what? Other than
it's horrible. It's horrible.
Other than Erod and Evaldi, you got Workman, who's decent, and then just.
Think about this. Erod and Evaldi on a good pitching order, they're like the 3, 4, or 5 pitcher.
Yeah,
they're 1 and 2.
That's the third option.
Like what were they for our title season? I think Erod was our 5th, right?
Yeah, I mean,
could have been 4 and 5 when Evaldi was healthy.
Came at the deadline, and I'm sure they were behind Price, Sale, and Porcello-ish.
Yeah. They were behind them too. So like they're not good. I've in my life I have hyped up Evaldi. And
he's under a big deal too.
He is overpaid. He's not what we paid him for. This pitching staff is atrocious, and it gives me little to no hope for this team this year. So at least we got the Celtics, and before the NFL gets canceled, we can hope for the Pats.
So to transition, we got all these players opting out. Marcus Cannon, Dante Hightower, Patrick Chung, Brandon Bolden, the fullback. I don't know his
Danny
name.
Vitale.
Yeah, and then there's another
he's a no name, but
he's a no name.
Yeah.
Does this change your prediction for this upcoming season? Because those are the Hightower one is a big loss.
Changes my prediction on the season happening.
So it doesn't change.
Because there's been a lot of other players opting out in the recent days too, like Goodwin,
Damian Harris.
Damian Harris.
Williams just opted out.
Damian Williams. Damian Williams. Harris.
Honestly, as of now, I still have faith in our defense, even with just losing Hightower and Chung. If we lose one more starter, literally just one more starter or 2, I'm going to say that will affect us to the point where maybe we won't be a playoff team. Because I still think this team, with Bill Belichick, with our cap space, we can make it happen on the defensive end. I really do think our offense is actually going to surprise people and take a step up from last year. I'm going to say overall, I still think they're getting into the playoffs. We lose 1 or 2 more starters on either side of the ball. I'm concerned for their playoff hopes.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with the McCourty brothers. They've been real skeptical
there are
about
rumors,
the season starting about them. So if you lose both of them, I don't really care too much about losing JC.
But you lose them both together. Like, I'm sure if you lose one, you're losing the other.
Yeah, it's going to be a package deal, absolutely.
And those are 2 potential starters. I mean, at least Evan is, but
McCourty's
either way, he plays a lot. He plays a ton. He's essentially a starter, and if you lose 3 of our top 5, 6 secondary players, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't completely change my opinion on the season, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
And They have no depth at linebacker.
Yeah, we do have a lot of youngsters that we haven't really gotten a big sample size on that I do think can step up.
You said the guy from
Michigan. Guy from Michigan, I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's like Uchi or Ulchi. I have faith in him. He was very good at Michigan. Then we do have Vinovich or Winovich, however you pronounce it. I think it's Vinovich.
No, it's not. It's Winovich.
But either way, I'm not giving up on that linebacking core just yet. But
I guess that D2 pick of the safety is going to pay off.
This dude better show up. Yeah, that'll look like he'll make Phil look like a genius. Dude, if this dude's like a Pro Bowler or something.
And they don't have Deron Harmon. He's in Detroit too.
Yep.
So they're
the defense has gone from being what was their nickname? The
Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman to I think they're the Scaredy Cats now. I'm a little nervous. All we have is we got the defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
But
did you see that Gilly came in on number 9 on the NFL Top 100?
Did he?
Yeah,
did they finish the Top 100 or who was?
We can talk about this.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
I actually screenshot.
I'd love to see it here. The top 10.
So I don't have.
So he came out number 9. That's dope.
I don't have the top. Oh, he did come in.
Was
9?
Brady in the top 10?
Nope. No. Because I have. This is from last night. I have the top 10, but I don't have it in order.
Okay.
So this is the 10. So this is no order.
Sure.
Aaron Donald, Derrick Henry,
valid.
Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Michael Thomas. I don't think should be in there. Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Hopkins, Gilmore.
I would take out either Hopkins or Thomas and throw in Julio Jones, but I think for the most part everyone else you named. What let me see it one more time.
I got
one of the last names you named. I love that they put Kittle in because and they put him above Kelsey. I really do think with all Kittle does as a blocker, as a leader, I would put Kittle above Kelsey.
No, he does more. He's way more of a legit tight end.
Yeah, I have the list 10 through 1 here if you want.
Yeah, I would love to hear it in order.
So Travis Kelce coming in at 10.
Okay.
Wait, what? I thought we just said he
11 maybe, or did you mean to say Kittle?
Is this a different list?
Maybe it's a different list. Oh yeah, forget it.
It's an
either way.
off-brand.
For the most part, though, I do agree with those, and I would take out Hopkins for Jones just because of what Thomas did last year. I know that dude gets more targets than like anybody by far because Drew Brees loves to throw to him, but he did break a lot of records and he had a killer year.
I think my bias hatred towards Mike Thomas is how he acts on social media.
Yeah, he is such he is annoying on social media.
Devontae Parker commented on some Instagram. It was, what's tougher, like guarding Mike Thomas or getting a catch on Steph Gilmore? And he said getting a catch with Gilmore guarding you, and Mike Thomas commented on it like, get out of here with that. Like, the guy's just so sensitive.
Yeah, he's a youngster. He's still a kid. Like, I don't know.
I don't know if I'd have Derrick Henry in the top
I saw this
either,
beautiful comment because you hear all these wide receivers talking now. You see Keenan Allen coming out. He's calling out Godwin, Evans, and this other receiver, and then Hopkins. He always is on Twitter talking Thomas. The one guy, it's like the best one is the one who lets his actions show, and that's Julio Jones. You never hear him out there trying to hype himself up. Just keep it. If you let Keenan Allen's letting the NFL top 100 bother him, and it's like,
no, they're all divas.
What are you doing? Like, I love what I'm gonna. We can keep going, but I'm gonna find what Evans responded to Keenan Allen with because it was pure gold.
Because Allen.
He's essentially like, that shit doesn't bother us, homie. But like, do you? I'll find it, but. Go ahead.
So, Joe Tooney obviously got signed to the franchise tag for like $16 million, which is a lot. That's a lot for a guard. But what I've heard is that they're going to move him to Marcus Cannon's spot to the right tackle. So it's like more getting your money's
position,
worth.
Yeah,
not as
both tackles are
as
extremely
a left tackle,
important.
but Cannon was coming off of a bad year too, and for Hightower, that's the one that really bothers me because he's your general out there on defense.
I know that one really hurts.
And you already lost Van Noy, Jamie Collins. Like, that linebacking core is just, these young kids are going to have to step up. And Brandon Bolden, get out of here. Who cares? And actually, Hightower was supposed to be a free agent after this year, but I guess in the agreement that it gets pushed back now. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is he's played his last game as a Patriot.
I've heard that too. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised either. He's 29, or he might be 30 now actually. And for a linebacker, it's like him. That's the. Can I just read this little Twitter interaction?
Go for it.
So Keenan Allen, he came in at like in the 20s or maybe in the 30s in that NFL Top 100. He says, "Okay, I'm tired of biting my tongue. At Tyreek Hill, at Mike Evans, at Chris Godwin are not a better receiver than me. Faster than me, maybe every day of the week, but separation, child, please." So Mike Evans quickly, he goes, "You tagged the wrong Chris Godwin, LOL, and don't be mad at us. We ain't make the rankings or care about him. I like the confidence, but be realistic. You're not on my level, bro." It's like, just relax, Keenan Allen. Like, you're out there making millions. let it fucking show on the field. Like, you guys are going to suck this year anyways. Just relax.
He's not the only one that's like that, though. It's crazy how sensitive some guys get to their own ranking, like, and don't like other players getting ranked above them.
Yeah.
Like, just show it with action. Like, why do you, like... It just doesn't prove anything that you have to go on there. Like,
it makes you look soft, and it makes you look weak-minded. Like, you're really going to make a big tweet about it? Like, what are you doing? But whatever. It's enough Keenan Allen. I owned him in fantasy once. He did me well.
So a free agent, or free agents, I want to see. I mean, they got, what, I think $24 million now in cap space? They got, I mean, it felt like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it was like $1 million. Now it's all the way up to 24. I know, Jesse, you brought up Clowney.
I'd love to see Clowney or Everson Griffin.
Yep.
That defense is looking a little weak, so if we could add some front seven help, that would be great. But
and another name I saw, just in case one of these, like if one of the McCourties back out, is Logan Ryan is still out there. It's a guy that knows the system.
Bring him back.
He didn't have a bad year. Hey,
Titans, right?
Yeah, he picked off Brady's last pass as a New England Patriot.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would bring him in. He probably wouldn't cost too much money, but I hope they bring in somebody. I don't know if Belichick's just going to hold on to it for next season, or but
I think it was these people were like, oh, you saw that one GM's exchange with Schefter that he posted. He's like, the GM was like, oh, I think Bill Belichick's like masterminding all this, and he's like, I don't know how, but he's just doing it intentionally. Like, do you think Bill Belichick is behind like some of these opt-outs to save money, or like what is your opinion?
I think that Schefter and everybody else gives Belichick too much credit sometimes.
Yeah, like he's like pulling the strings of the entire league.
Yeah.
I think he maybe got out ahead of it with the players and said, "Hey, let me know now so I can go get somebody."
Yeah.
But I don't think that he's like
You're
was like
opting
pushing
out.
for
You're
them to
opting
opt out because he thought that they were going to, so then other players would opt out around the league. Because I've heard people call into radio stations and say that they think like Belichick does these fucking Jedi mind tricks on the rest of the league, like.
Right.
The guy's smart.
He
They
does play
give him way
with
too
them,
much credit.
But I would agree. Like, he probably gets more credit than he deserves in that regard.
Like he's the decision maker of every other GM. Like he knows how to like manipulate their
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah. Right. Like everybody else is just a fucking idiot.
He's their pawns. He's like the queen. You know. Shit.
So what do you guys think about Lou Williams going to that strip club?
My man's just wanted some wings, dude. Leave him alone.
You heard his.
Everybody's like calling him out and being like an irresponsible piece of shit, which
is true.
Is true.
But he just wanted those wings. Let him
Did
live.
you hear why he was out though? He
Funeral.
said he went to a funeral and the after party. That's his family's favorite joint for food.
Yeah,
I did look at their menu. It looks extremely good.
Wait. So the after party of the funeral was at a strip club?
I don't know if it was just the guys that went, take their mind off
I didn't
stuff,
know that.
whatever,
That's
but
pretty funny.
And he says he wasn't there for the booty, he was there for the food, so it's like, all right, you know, it's a bad look, but he'll be right back in. RJ, I remember we talked about this when this first happened. RJ proposed a good idea, you know, if you leave the bubble, that's the end of your season.
Kick him out. I was going to say that.
Then nobody's leaving the bubble. I mean,
you're done. Yeah. See ya. You couldn't keep it in your pants. You had to go get some wings and some ass at the strip club. You're done. And I mean, like, the guy didn't kill anybody.
Some wings with a side of ass.
He could be killing people, though.
What does that mean?
Just saying, if he brings back coronavirus.
Oh, true. Very true. Well, that's the thing with these bubbles. I mean, if you can secure the bubble, but if the virus comes into the bubble, it can get spread faster because they're all in that bubble.
They're doing so good. So many no positive tests yet.
It's how hard is it to not get caught, too? I mean, like, you can't try and be more.
I think he got caught because that dude who does the What's Poppin' song posted a selfie with Lou Williams. Yeah, Jack Harlow. He's like, you know, What's Poppin'?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were able to tell behind the mask. They're like, that's fucking Lou Williams. Like, that dude's out of the bubble.
So, if that's the only way he gets caught, then, I mean...
Poor security.
Yeah, poor security. How many other guys are out fucking doing nefarious bullshit?
That's the thing, like, with these professional athletes. I think you kind of said this, like, can these guys not go a few days without sex? Like, serious. Like, come on. Like, you can't keep it in your pants for just a few days and you have to go run out to the strip joint. And I'm sure there's been girls that have been sneaking in to the bubble.
Do you think Lou Williams was like, damn, I need to get my dick wet. I'm going to go get chicken wings and strippers and fuck all night?
No, that's a little different.
I believe him that he wasn't there for the strip club. He was there for the funeral and he loves their wings. I mean... like I said, have you seen their menu?
Why don't you read it? Get it out.
Fucking good looking, man.
Go read it.
They've fucking catfish nuggets. Like, they have all these elaborate things.
Catfish? Like, no,
I don't know.
Those good?
Apparently, Shannon Sharp has this.
It's tenders that are catfishing you to be nuggets.
I don't know. I'll pull their menu. I'm not going to read the whole menu. But I'll let you guys look at it while we're on.
So then a local guy, though, that also can't follow protocol is Pastrnak, who came back from the Czech.
Enlighten me. I have no clue on this situation.
So he came back from, I think he's from the Czech Republic.
Had dinner with Greg Hill.
Ugh, don't quote me on that he's from the Czech. But comes back, I think kind of quarantines, skates with the team. That night, he goes out with either Greg Hill or it was a different night, and he gets caught literally on like the side of the street. Looks like he's trying to flag down a cab. You can see him with the mask on.
Trying to flag down a cab.
He was out there with another guy in the Bruins too, some other kid from the same country, and it's like, dude.
Trying to get a cab? They don't have just like drivers to pick them up.
And he associated himself.
They're NHL players. They're not NBA players.
I guess they're
NFL
players.
I think Pasternak's like a good paid, and he only makes like $6 million a year. And what Marcus Smart
on his way back to his studio apartment.
Honestly, probably
his one bed, one bathroom. You know,
right there in the North End.
Yeah.
And then he associated himself with somebody with coronavirus, and that's why he's been out all this time. And he just is now skating the last couple days. And he actually had a press conference yesterday. He was up there with one other player. It was Coyle. And they asked him, like, hey, do you, like, feel like you did anything wrong? And he was just like, I don't think I have anything. He said sorry, but then he also said,
like, I
didn't get sick.
Yeah.
I didn't get sick, so why should I be sorry? So he kind of contradicted himself. It's like, dude, come on.
You should be a little sorry for doing that.
And it's
just irresponsible. You're supposed to be the lead, like, one of the pillars of this team. Like, arguably the best player on the team.
Definitely the best player on the team.
I mean, overall goals, whatever.
Definitely having the best year.
Just bite the bullet and say you're sorry and say you were wrong for doing that.
And it's just also because it's like what happened with last year. I want to see them go get that Stanley Cup, and they need him. He didn't show up last postseason.
Yeah.
That whole first line was it's like they weren't there in the Stanley Cup. And
I mean, it wasn't just him. Marchand and
no. I know it was Bergeron too. They didn't
Marchand looked horrible in the
Stanley
finals.
Cup. Yeah, and remember Tyler Seguin? They traded him because that guy would not get it together, and he was going out all the time. And Pastrnak seems to have some Tyler Seguin like vibes to him, where it's like,
are you gonna let another player like that go though?
No, they shouldn't have let Seguin go to begin with. Why? Because the guy was going out getting drunk every night. Who cares? It's what he's doing on the ice.
Yeah.
I think that trade they might have gotten Pastrnak in that trade as a draft pick, so maybe it kind of worked out. But still, Sagan's one of the best players in the league right now. He lights it up for Dallas every year. I just think that like Pastrnak got to try and keep it together. Like,
get your shit together, David.
Yeah, they better
grow up.
They better have a babysitter with him down there in Toronto to make sure he's not sneaking out, going to any bars. Fucking put him and Chara can share a room, make sure he doesn't leave.
So, by the way, how's that working with the NHL with all the Canadian teams?
There's half the Eastern Conference is in Toronto, the Western Conference is in Edmonton.
Oh.
Yeah.
Edmonton.
Whatever. Edmonton. I said it weird. I think I said it was Canadian. Edmonton.
Edmonton, eh?
Eh? But, I've kind of talked about it before, the Miami Marlins. That's another team that 19 people on the team. I don't know if they're all players.
It's probably because they don't give a shit because they know how bad they are, and they're like,
and they're in Florida.
I don't get paid much. Like, fuck this.
Let's all get sick.
Yeah, who cares if we don't play? It's like that South Park episode where they're trying to lose. Like, they're just trying to get eliminated for the season.
Yeah.
Like, damn it, you tested negative, you little asshole.
Yeah.
So,
Cousin Kyle, my test came back negative.
Yeah.
Coronavirus gives me gays.
South Park kills me.
Oh, that's perfect.
Was Lou Williams in Atlanta? Is that where the strip club was?
That's where the wing spot is,
you know where Miami just was on a road trip?
Atlanta.
I guarantee you they were going out in Atlanta in the party city, and they're a very young team. Like you said, they suck, and they're young. They don't care. They've probably been going out a bunch, and now.
But where is there to go out?
I'm sure there's places in Florida
South,
you can go.
In the Georgia, Florida, like those cities are almost all open. Like almost open. Fully.
Open?
Like I'm telling you, there's hardly any restrictions. Dude,
Oh,
even in Hampton
everywhere.
Beach, even in Hampton Beach, no one wears a mask. anywhere.
Yeah.
I can't believe we walked in the Westover.
Is it like just as busy as it always is up there? Because
when I went to Hampton Beach for like maybe a month ago, a little over a month ago, dude, it was like normal Hampton Beach, and no one was wearing
normal
masks.
Hampton Beach is disgusting,
and
too.
Nobody was wearing masks. I promise you. Like there's a.
When was that? When did you go?
It was for one of my buddy's birthdays, like middle of June.
Oh, okay.
So like a little over a month.
You haven't been tested since then.
I self-tested negative.
Perfect.
No, I'm kidding. We're good.
No, I know.
I would consider ending Miami's season. I mean, if they're going to miss already a week and a half, and I think that's being optimistic. Like
That's
I said,
like they're
give the
gonna
Red
miss-
Sox some free wins.
They're gonna miss a 12th of their season already.
How are you going to make that up in 60 games?
Especially if they all have to quarantine for like almost 2 weeks or 10 days, whatever. Like
I don't get how that's when you have probably over half your
they're
team.
saying they're
Now-
going to postpone the games till they can play them. But
It just feels like the MLB is just going to be reaching all season long to try to like
that sets a
make
bad
the season
precedent.
happen.
Though.
They should have
really
gone
does.
into a bubble.
No, if you cancel, like if you just X out the Marlins and give everyone wins against the Marlins, that does set a dangerous precedent for like other teams.
Haven't they kind of done that in the MLS though? Haven't they kicked the team out, or at least maybe they just suspended?
haven't-
Maybe they just stopped games being played and they canceled some because a bunch of players tested.
Maybe their format is so much different. Like maybe if they did get rid of a team, maybe they only had like one more game and they were already eliminated because they're just doing like round robin, then straight into a tournament bracket.
The MLB, when like they were talking about coming back, there was initially supposed to be one bubble in Arizona and one in Florida, but of course
That would've made
The
sense.
PA
the
didn't want it,
players won't agree to anything, and this is what's going to happen. And
Well,
3
dying
games
for it.
into the season, and half of one team all got, and they're really lucky that they were playing the Phillies over the weekend, and nobody on Philadelphia's tested positive yet. Can you imagine if they then infected Philly, and then they had a whole other team that was infected?
Baseball, shit sport.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, RJ, if he's saying that, then you know I'm being over the top. Jesus.
Okay, so another NFL topic. Over the weekend, it wasn't over the weekend.
Pretty
Jamal
much,
Adams
yeah.
got traded.
We were golfing
Yeah.
when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
RJ, I think, was in the midst of like
For
a 12 or something
two-
on a par
two
3.
first
No,
No,
I'm
it was
kidding.
a 9.
2 first rounders.
Yep, 2
and
first
a
round
fourth.
and a third.
And a
And
third.
they're giving a fourth back.
Yeah, Jamal Adams in a 4th for this no name and a few first.
Oh, yeah, there was a no name in there. That's, I'm sorry, way too much to give up for a safety.
Yeah, it is.
It's one thing if it's like a shutdown corner, like, Jalen Ramsey went for 2 firsts, but a
Yeah.
safety?
Yeah.
Jamal Adams is solid.
I mean,
They
Jamal
say
Adams
they
is a
do
stud.
talk about him as being that good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's great.
I
And
think
I talked to my
Seahawks. No,
I
that's
talked to
fine.
my buddy who's a big Jets fan, and I asked him what he thought of the trade. He's like, I fucking love it. He's like, we got a huge return.
And he doesn't want to be there. So
Yeah.
Jets fans probably are like, get out of my life, you traitor. And I don't know. I was gonna say the Seahawks first round picks too. Like they're gonna be good until.
you can still
Yeah.
get quality guys.
No, you can. Even if good guys are going early second round, that means all first round picks are valuable. There's an argument to say that 2 first rounders and a third is a lot, but
I mean, Seattle better go, win something. When is the last time the team even made it to an NFC
Hey,
championship game?
Long time.
I might pick Seattle this year.
I pick them. I feel like I pick them every year, and I
That'd
will
be a
pick
bad
them
pick.
again this year. I think speaking of Seattle, I know it's a little off topic, but Metcalf, that dude's going to be a Pro Bowler next year. Watch it.
DK
You
Metcalf
want
is
to put
nice. Should have been a New
$25
England
down
Patriot.
each on a $50 bet for Seattle to win right now?
Yeah, I'll check the odds right now, actually, and we'll talk about
Put
that.
it in tomorrow.
I bet it pays out.
RJ better get in on it too. That way, we're all rooting for it.
No, I bet my money
Pays
on
out
the
what?
Patriots.
What do you think?
What do I think it would pay out?
Yeah.
What do you think
Plus
it's probably
50,
plus 300?
50 to, no, it'll be more than that.
Way more.
To win the Super Bowl or make the
win the Super Bowl.
It'll probably pay
100?
out like 1,200. It'll probably be plus 1,200 odds.
plus.
1,200?
Plus, which means 50 would pay out something like 600. I don't know. I'll look right now.
But yeah, so a big issue why he wanted to leave is because of that fucking cokehead coach, Adam Gase, who had an issue with Le'Veon Bell. So this guy just has an issue with all of his star
Didn't
players.
Le'Veon call Jamal Adams out, though?
Yes,
He did.
because I think Adams lied to him and said he was going to make it work or something. But this guy, Gase, if you remember the press conference when he got introduced, he's like all coked up, looking around all crazy.
Okay, do you think he was actually coked
On
up?
something. Nobody's eyes naturally. I don't care if you're nervous. I'm
Maybe
not.
he
Go-
just-
I wish the audience could see me right now because this is what he's doing. He's like looking all around like
He
this
looks like
during
a
the press
bird of
conference.
prey or something. Like,
Like that guy was looking all over the fucking place, like he was on something.
Maybe he just did some
And
smelling
how
salts.
this guy lost his job with the Dolphins and then got immediately hired with the Jets.
Yeah.
Like with the Jets have been bad except for when Rex Ryan was there those couple years.
Because
my entire life.
He does a bunch of coke with the owners and convinces them that night to sign him to a deal.
That is honestly probably what happens because I could definitely see that happening. And that Jets owner is like under some type of controversy for like sexual harassment or something. With woman came out in his staff, something like that. He's under something.
I don't remember what I saw about it, but I did see something like that.
But I'm like, get rid of the fucking coach.
Yeah,
he's a loser. He couldn't win in Miami, but he gets a job right away.
Yeah,
like, that guy should be a coordinator somewhere.
If that.
No, yeah, he's an idiot. But so then also the preseason's canceled, which I usually wouldn't care. But I would watch these games because, hey, if there is a quarterback competition, I'd want to see what Stidham and Newton are doing out there.
Yeah.
And I think media is going to be restricted going into training camp. So it's just that 1 year that there actually could be some QB competition, and we're really not going to have like a good idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
I hope they actually are letting media into training camp at least. Because, Jesse, you've been there to Patriots.
Oh, yeah,
place.
a few times.
You can probably socially distance if you're just reporters there, right? And watch.
Oh, if it's just reporters,
like you have
absolutely.
to enter a facility or anything,
oh,
right?
so much room. Hey, quick thing. I'm trying to find the Super Bowl bet, but Bill Belichick is the leading odds for Coach of the Year, which makes sense with our shit roster. With our under Patriots typical roster.
You can call it a shit roster.
No, it's not a shit roster. That was a little harsh, but I can't find these. There's so many cool player futures. Like,
so I think it hurts the Patriots because they're still trying to work out this new offense. I mean,
it hurts everybody. Everybody's got new players. Everybody's got new faces, rookies. Everything.
But a whole new quarterback, it would help to be in some real. They're not going to be able to do joint practices. It would help to be in a real live game situation, even if it was just 2.
For sure.
But I'll jeopardize the 4 games. If it means that we're going to get a real season. Because if we're risking, even if it brings down the chances that the season doesn't happen by just like 5%, it's worth it. Because at the end of the day, they're meaningless games.
Yeah.
Where do you think the Seahawks land in of all the NFL teams for odds to win the Super Bowl? Like ranked
3rd,
4th,
10th.
What?
10?
Plus 2,000. $50 plays a that.
Name the 9 teams in front of them.
Kansas City in descending order at 1. Kansas City, Baltimore, 49ers, Saints, Bucks. New England at 6th, plus 1,200. Cowboys, Colts, Eagles, then the Seahawks.
How do the Patriots have more of a chance to win the entire thing than Seattle
By plus
does?
800 in the odds books.
Who was 7 through 9 again?
So you got Patriots, Cowboys, Colts, Eagles, Seahawks.
God,
the Colts aren't winning the fucking Super Bowl with Phillip Rivers and his bum-ass arm.
I don't know what they know about the Seahawks that we don't, but...
Yeah, something. They must know something.
Yeah. Well, let's get to do that.
That's
before those odds change.
Yeah.
But like how you said that every team is like going through, like not playing in the preseason. I mean, if there's a coach that you want to have not having any preseason games, it's Belichick.
Yeah.
But, maybe I'm giving him like too much credit, but I mean, at the end of the day, he's the best coach in the league. And he should be able to handle situations like this.
Understood. But, again, I think everybody gives him too much credit. Like, yeah, he's a genius. He's a great football coach. But do you think he's, without the preseason games and without really being able to, like, see, like, some actual tape to go off of, I don't know. I'm pretty skeptical about this season and this shit roster.
Are you more skeptical about the Patriots' chances or the season happening?
Patriots' chances of playoffs?
Yeah,
I'm more
to be a good team.
Skeptical of the season happening.
I'm starting to get very skeptical of the season happening, just for many reasons.
That's the one sport I'm not even going to let it go through my brain. If football
gets
gets canceled,
only you lose the viewing shit, but then fantasy football too.
Oh, dude. That I would be heartbroken if football gets canceled. I don't know what I would do with myself.
Another second round fantasy exit for you would be brutal.
Yeah, another reason not to live.
What do we got next?
So you guys probably didn't make
canceled.
any top 5 list.
Oh, whatever. We can shoot it off.
Can I go off?
Shoot from the hip.
Sure, let's hear yours.
All right, so I'll start off with my quarterback. And the reason I did this is because...
God, I already know. Can I... Actually, let's just hear it.
So the reason that...
Brady's not going to be in it. Let's hear it.
I don't know if he'd be in mine.
So the reason that I did this is because the NFL Top 100 has made me think about it. So my top 5 quarterbacks, Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Drew Brees. Brady's not
Love
in
it.
there.
Deshaun Watson.
I would
I know you
I would
like
replace
Watson.
Drew Brees with Aaron Rodgers, but I had pretty much the same list. I was just talking about this the other day, and I had all those guys plus Brees in front of Brady. So I had Brady like 7th because I was going over like the top 10 QBs with somebody, and yeah, Brady fell like 7th or something.
So you
he's probably
top,
one.
You have a list, or
Is he one on your list, Jesse? Brady,
It was basically the same as RJ's. It was
Watson. Maybe was bumped out. And
no Watson. It was Mahomes. I think Lamar, Watson,
no Wilson.
Wilson, Rodgers,
Breeze.
Brees.
I'll
Brady.
go
Gotcha.
Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes,
Wilson's better
Aaron
than
Rodgers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady.
in no particular order.
No, in exact order.
Say that again.
Yes, you heard me correctly. Russell Wilson, then Patrick Mahomes,
Okay.
then Aaron Rodgers, then Drew Brees, then Tom
You
Brady.
really
at
don't
5.
like these young athletic quarterbacks.
I think Lamar Jackson's overrated, but that's just.
I mean,
me.
it's fair. He's never won anything,
Yeah.
but I still just think 2
Deshaun
regular
Watson?
seasons he's had.
I think he's
a guy that hasn't
he's
won
a good
anything
leader,
either.
but I also think he's overrated.
That's
Over
fair.
Brady, I'm not taking Watson over Brady.
I mean, if I had to pick, Brady was bad last year.
And if you're
He was
taking into
bad
account
last year.
their
yeah.
weapon, if you're taking into account their weapons going into this year, I definitely am not putting Watson above Brady. Brady's gonna have a great year, guys. I don't know what you're smoking, but
I
that
didn't say he
team
was
is
gonna have
gonna
a
that
bad
team
year.
is gonna sling the ball. Brady could fucking break Mahomes' touchdown record next year for all we know.
No way.
You never know.
He hasn't thrown above like 33 in like 4 years.
And he's never had. This is a better offensive arsenal than he had in 07 when he threw 50
But I'm so
touchdowns.
curious to see how it's really going to work with Brady having downfield options. When was the last time you've seen Brady air a ball out?
10
Yeah,
years
he's got
ago.
nice touch, but does he have?
He has more than just downfield.
Does he still have a good arm?
Find out. I don't know.
I think we'll find out.
But
I don't
the
know that he
thing
does.
is,
He's 43.
His completion percentage was bad last year. That's because he threw a lot of balls away because he didn't trust the
And
receivers.
the offensive line was pretty garbo.
They had a bad year. Marcus Cannon and they didn't have David Andrews. And
No,
who's
the-
the other
the
tackle?
offense-
Trey Flowers or
Mason, Shaq Mason. Did
Shaq
have a
Mason.
good year.
The line was garbage. Like, you can't ask him to do all that. With this team, I don't
Just
know
saying,
exactly
I
how
don't
their
know if
offensive line is.
I don't know
but,
if he's going to drop a ball 50 yards down the field into Mike Evans' hands.
He gave up on the
I
team
think him
last
and
year.
I think him
over
and
under
Chris
39 and
Godwin,
a half touchdowns passing next year.
Under.
I think we did this already.
I don't know. I'm
We-
setting
we-
a new
we-
line.
What did you say?
39 and a half.
Under.
Under.
I would bet my life savings on the under.
I'll
The
take
real
over.
Bovada line is set at, or like betting line
Probably
is set
like-
like 33 or something.
Yeah, that's fair. But
Hey, see
No,
if, that,
he'll
see
be
if
in
that's
the-
an alternate line.
he'll be in the 40s.
The odds are you can make some money on that.
Kidding
But
me?
yeah, so then I had my top 5 receivers. So I did not include AB in this just because he's not on the team
Sure,
right
yeah.
now.
Yep.
not.
So I went Julio 1, DeAndre Hopkins 2, Mike Thomas 3, Tyreek Hill 4, Devontae Adams 5.
Interesting. I'll go Julio 1. I'll go Julio 1. I'll go Mike
Edelman 2.
I'll go Mike Thomas 2. I'll go Hopkins 3. I'll go Evans 4, and I'll go Godwin 5. Brady has 2 of the top 5 receivers on his roster.
Okay.
I'll take both of them. Look at the numbers. Check the numbers. They both have better years than Devontae Adams. And who is your other guy?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. He does have crazy numbers, but I think that's more just the fact that he runs faster than everyone and he has Mahomes throwing the ball.
The Mike Evans at your fantasy football bias talking. Let's be honest.
I mean, do I need I pull up the numbers? Mike Evans is a monster.
I mean, we can compare him and Tyreek Hill's numbers. They're
and
probably
Mike
pretty
Evans
close.
are better.
You
They
sure?
really are.
I mean, he'll miss some time last year.
I don't know. I'm
think-
confident enough to say they are. I guess I don't know 100%, but no.
I don't really have
I'm
an issue with Mike Evans, but
Well, it sounds like you do
You got
because
top
he's
5
Brady,
that
because
year?
he's one of Brady's receivers. No, he's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
good.
it's basically the same of, I think, what you guys said. I mean,
Mine was
Mike
much
Thomas,
different.
I would put Mike Thomas 1. I mean, he just caught more balls than anybody in history.
yeah, I think
Julio 2, D-Hop 3, Devontae 4, and then I would flip a coin between Mike
Boys.
Evans and Tyreek Hill.
Mike Evans has eclipsed 1,000 yards in each of his 6 seasons in the league, and he's gone 12 touchdowns twice, 8 touchdowns twice. In 6 seasons, he's got 7,200 yards and 50 touchdowns. This dude's a beast.
Yeah, he is.
He's underrated. I mean,
doubt.
people not talking about him like you two. It's just a highlight of like what he deals with. He is
I
underrated.
mean, he's in my top 5.
All right, well, I thought you said coin flip. I thought I might have heard coin
It
flip.
lands on Mike Evans.
Okay. I'll shut up then.
So, a little bit of betting talk. I was thinking, lock pick of the week for this upcoming weekend with the Red Sox-Yankees game. Just hammer the over every single time because the Yankees are going to put up 15 runs just by themselves on the Red Sox. I'm really interested to see what they set the lines
Maybe
at for
batting
those.
practice.
Dude, they're going to hit like 5 home runs a game off that bum pitching staff. And Evaldi's not set due to pitch all series.
I think maybe I will get in on that action. Pick the over.
That's
on
smart.
both those
I
games.
mean, I couldn't see the Red Sox not giving up at least 5 runs to the Yanks, and the Red Sox order is good enough to put up a few too. So
Yeah, the over-unders are going to be at like 7 or 8.
Dude, they've been-
higher could be 8.5 or 9.5.
Dude, they were setting the ones this week. It's against the Mets the last 2 or 3 nights. It's been like 11 and
Double
a half,
digits?
12,
Yeah.
dude. Which,
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's I'm done betting, by the way, because I suck. But the over-under, I took it. It was like 11 and a half, and it got to 11. So it's still 11 is a lot of runs. All you need is if the game can start off slow and you get a few clean innings to start, you're looking good.
For the unders.
Yeah, for the unders,
yeah.
yeah. But I don't know. I just think that the Yankees are going to absolutely
I hate baseball
annihilate
betting.
them.
I don't like baseball betting, period.
Yeah, the over-unders are tough because you could get screwed with 1/2 inning. That happened to me last year.
It's kind of the same feeling with hockey for me. I love NFL and NBA betting, hate NHL and MLB betting. I don't know what it is.
What do you hate about the NHL, the over-unders?
I hate the over-unders, and I don't really like the puck lines either.
I don't do the puck line because you have the empty net thing, which changes everything.
It's tough. I will never take an under in NHL, and 90% of the time I look at an over and it doesn't hit.
Yeah, over-unders are.
Can we just agree that maybe NFL, but NBA is great to bet?
Well, yeah,
it's fun to root.
It's the most fun.
It's fun to root for an over.
Yeah,
in
because
the NBA.
every basket that comes in, you're doing the math in your head, what are
how many do they need
right
each?
now?
And what is this quarter?
Yeah,
in the bubble. If I get any betting advice, it's take the overs in the bubble. Period. There's going to be some AAU ball out there.
The worst over to bet on might be fucking soccer though. If you're sitting watching a game and they aren't scoring,
yeah.
The MLS game I said I watched, I took the over. It was 2.5. And these MLS games, they score a lot.
Yeah, because
0-0 the entire game.
And then 90 minutes later, you're just like, what the fuck did I just watch?
They were diving.
Wasted 2 hours.
2 hours.
I literally was like, I just cannot believe I watched that. And they're flopping around everywhere. But so some of the lines for actually 2 games tomorrow night, it's Utah versus the Pelicans and the Lakers versus the Clippers. Utah is they're giving 2 points to Utah.
Against who? The Pelicans?
Yeah, that's what I couldn't believe. Unless the ESPN line was off. But
that's because you know that the NBA is going to
rig it for Zion.
Rig it for Zion and the Pelicans. I'll be right back.
And then the Lakers are -4 against the Clippers.
Hammer that. No Lou Williams.
I think the Lakers will cover, to be honest.
I think the Lakers cover, and I agree with the Jazz cover.
You should do the show from there the rest of the time, right there on the stairs.
Can you hear me?
But yeah, then I was looking up. Yeah, I probably would just parlay that, but I don't know. I'm over betting.
I don't know. I was looking at that
boys,
Lakers.
Can I give a little Red Sox update?
Yeah,
Sure.
6-4, 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth.
No outs. 6-4. Bottom of the ninth. The Mets have runners on first and second with no outs.
Who's winning?
Red Sox are up 6-4. It's the bottom of the ninth. No outs for the Mets, and they have runners on first and second.
Ugh.
Not letting go.
Who's on the hill? Is it Workman?
Can't. Oh yeah, Workman.
All right. So, yeah, but when it comes to I can't bet anymore.
I was gonna say I was looking at that Lakers Clippers game, and I would be tempted to pick the Clippers. Honestly,
it's hard to when you get the team that's so good and you give them 4 points and they're so even matched.
Yeah.
So
seriously.
It's 4 points is so small though, where it could be such a close game, and then the Lakers get some basket at the end and it doesn't hit. That's why a 4 point spread is difficult. But
those ones are killers. The garbage, or if it's a garbage time basket that blows the spread or something. I've had that happen to me so many fucking times.
Dude, and whenever you're rooting for the over and you're hoping there's gonna be a bunch of fouls at the end to get a bunch of free throws,
Yeah.
But so leading off that NBA and NHL, Celtics are here on Friday or playing on Friday. Bruins are on 2:00 on Sunday against the Flyers. I can't believe it's finally here. I felt like I haven't sat watch the Celtics game because I watch the Bruins occasionally. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of flip the switch come playoff time. Mm-hmm. But with the Celtics, like I feel like I haven't watched a Celtics game or like a real NBA game in like a fucking year.
Yeah.
Like, it's been so long. And
Yeah.
When we were here that night and they canceled, I never thought we would be waiting till the end of fucking July to watch that. That's 4 months, like 4.5 months. That's the season would have been already over like a month and a half ago, and now they're gonna be playing till like October. So
that's crazy.
What are your expectations for the Celtics heading in?
I don't know. I mean, they haven't looked so good in their exhibition games, and Tatum hasn't been playing well, especially. So that makes me a little nervous.
Yeah.
I want to say, with this whole team healthy, whereas we have as good a chance as anybody in the East, obviously not as good as Milwaukee.
So you said with health, so I know I've always brought up Kemba Walker's knee. Brad Stevens actually talked on the radio today.
Yeah.
Update, bases juice, no outs, bottom of the ninth. Red Sox clinging to a 2-run lead.
Yeah, they're going to blow it.
Yeah.
Absolutely are going to blow it. But Brad Stevens gave an update on Kemba Walker's knee today and said that it's the best it's been since September, since he's been on the Celtics, which is very good news. I don't know if he's telling the truth, but hopefully he is. My thing is, I think, like I said before, they're contenders because there's no home court anymore. Mm-hmm. And they should, at the end of the day, they should be there with Milwaukee.
That's why they're contenders? Because there's no home court?
Yeah. A real contender that could actually go to the NBA championship?
You think Milwaukee's home court advantage is gonna hurt the Celtics?
We just argue in circles because we've gotten into this argument so many times about home court, which you just don't think is a thing for some reason.
I think any fucking NBA home court.
Yeah, maybe if you're in, I just have to disagree with that. But what are you looking at?
I'm looking up what the fucking number is. What percentage of home teams win an NBA series? I bet it's pretty high.
That's what the
so
teams.
Talk about your expectations for them.
For the Celtics?
You're probably going to think they're going to win the championship.
They're going to the finals.
Yeah, of course.
And I have no word on the result of those finals.
Actually, fine. Come playoff time, I'll make you give a real prediction.
I could see them going to the finals. I can't see them winning the finals.
I could see them being...
If they get there, I think they could win, but they're not getting there.
You think they would beat
the
Lakers?
I think they can beat any team in the league on any given night.
Of course you do.
They're less experienced than a team like the Lakers and many other teams, but I think they might have a little more talent off the bottom than a team like the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers are a little top-heavy with AD and LeBron.
I honestly don't love the Lakers roster, to be honest.
It's just like all those old vets, that were good players. They're still decent, but it's like Celtics have real dogs. They just have these pretenders.
Yeah, Lakers have a lot of, I don't know.
Deion Waiters, J.R. Smith, Jared Dudley. Injured Rondo.
Caruso,
Kuzma.
Kuzma's
solid.
Kuzma, who Twitter world used to think was better than Tatum. I don't know. Yeah, I'm taking the Celtics to get out of the East.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find that stat, but...
It's probably something like 40-60 because the teams who... I bet it's
closer to 70.
The teams who had the lower seed were a worse team, and it has nothing to do with them being on the road.
Well, no, we'll say this: the real number to look for is if we could take it out, not include the first round, and maybe even the second round in it, and just look at the Eastern Conference Finals. That would be the number to look at. Because the first round, obviously it has nothing to do with home court because it's the one.
Yeah, that would be a more telling stat, like the 1 seed versus
out.
the 2 seed in the conference final.
Even the last three rounds.
Because you heard what I said. I think it's because the number will be skewed because these shitty teams in the first and second round are just worse than the higher seed.
The home court doesn't matter.
I think these hoopers are going to hoop. I don't really know how much the crowd really affects it in the NBA as opposed to something like the NFL. But we'll see.
So the other Boston team, the Bruins, I feel like they're either going to win the whole thing or they're going to blow it early.
I like that.
I just feel like they're that type of team. They're not going to get lucky again with Tampa, Washington all losing.
No, they're going to have to beat some good teams in the playoffs.
So
I'm a little nervous for our Brewies. I could see them bowing out in the second round.
Dude, they've still been killing it. Before this happened, they were killing it. And they're still the best team in the league.
Teams that win the President's Cup, though, usually don't fare well in the playoffs. Or something. Tampa Bay got swept last year.
Well, this whole season is different than any other season. So.
No, it is. And I think playoff hockey is going to be weird with no crowd.
I think the Bruins are ultimately a weak-minded team, and that stems from Tuukka Rask. That's my opinion of the whole thing.
Tuukka is.
I think he folds under the biggest moments. He has great games, and even in some playoff games, he has great moments, but I'm expecting the Bruins to bow out in the second round.
He wasn't good enough in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup. Sure, he got them there. He had some great games.
Did.
But the players, the offense should have picked him up. But still, like that couple years ago against Ottawa, they blew it in a Game 7 or Game 6, and he was caught in overtime like 5 yards out of the net. And I just think that guy makes me wonder how...
I just look at his face, and I see, like... someone who's a choker. I don't know any other way to put it.
I think the fight is there and he wants to win. I just think that he freezes under pressure. He gets nervous.
He's no Tim Thomas, that's for sure.
So, do you think the bubbles are going to work out? Like, do you think that we're going to see these seasons
Bubble
finish?
sports work.
I think if they can take
sports.
anything from MLB or anything else happening, that they'll just, and especially with Lou Williams, just like really crack down on it and make sure that they're, I mean, at what point are the players going to start to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, they won't respond well to like being in a bubble where like security is like high and they can't like sneak out or something like that. Like they're going to feel like they're being held prisoner there.
These guys that are going to be there until October.
Yeah.
That is going to be, it's going to get tough, but I think as like the field gets smaller, they're going to realize how close the end is and see the finish line, see the championship, and they'll reel it in. But it's not going to be easy. I mean, I'm not trying to...
I think the NFL is actually... It's not going to go to a full bubble style, but I don't think I think we're going to see some failures with the MLB's style.
Because there's so much traveling with the MLB.
I think the NFL is riding like their high horse right now, and like they're confident. They think they're untouchable because they're the NFL. And I think COVID could like have somewhat of a second wave before the season does start. Actually, it's supposed to start at the end of August, right? Like August 20-something is week 1.
No, for the
NFL,
September 10th.
September 10th. I don't know. I can see them like shifting what they do, moving it to a few cities. I don't think it's gonna work that way.
The thing was the bubble. Like, there's so many players per team.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be like a full bubble where like everyone's in the same city, but like you could see a few people. I don't know what I really can see, but I think they're going to add some new restrictions that they were not planning on adding originally.
It's definitely very possible. The good thing is at least they don't travel. They only travel 8 times a year, not counting the playoffs.
Right, because they only have 8 away games.
Yeah, so you're only traveling. Each team's only traveling 8 times,
and it's going to be on their private jets, this and that. But
yeah, yeah, I don't know. The MLB is just...
I think we can all agree the NBA is doing it the way it should be done.
And the NHL, though. They're doing the same
thing.
Yes,
the NHL.
You could even the NHL going 2 bubbles isn't a bad idea to split things up
I'm cool with that. They're doing it. We'll give the NHL their credit, too.
So, a bold prediction I have going into the NBA bubble is either the Lakers or Clippers are going to lose early. They're going to be out.
In like round 1 or 2?
2. I'll say 2. One of them is going to get bounced in the second round.
Hey, if one of them
Lakers or Clippers,
Portland in the first round, Portland's going to give someone fits if they make it in.
Are they going to have all their big guys back?
They already do. Nurkic and Collins
are back. So would they not have been back if this didn't happen?
No.
That's a team that
they would not be in the playoffs. They absolutely. Their starting lineup's looking like something like Dame, McCollum, Melo, and their 2 bigs, and their 2 bigs are good.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna lose if Melo's on the team. Team killer.
He's skinny Melo now. We have a new version of Melo. He's evolved.
Hoodie Melo.
Hoodie Melo. You had Hoodie Melo, Olympic Melo, and there's probably another one, and now there's Skinny Melo.
What were the Blazers? They're like the 9 right now, right?
Yeah, 10 or 9. They're all within a few games. It's all to play for.
I mean, yeah, there's the play-in too that we talked about.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to that caller segment that Jesse rudely interrupted when I was trying to introduce it.
Yeah, he was going to tease it.
Yeah.
I think we should have kept it like we got this mystery segment, but hey, it already happened. So
you could have told me before we started.
That's
Why
fair.
would we tease that? I mean, mystery segment, and then all of a sudden We have Norm Olden's voice talking into the microphone.
I think that would be awesome.
So
Why wouldn't we?
We're going to try to do this.
Teased it.
Yeah, we're going to try to do this.
Once every episode or once every couple episodes, whatever.
Because, I know there's a lot of people that have wanted to come on the show.
I'm sure
So this is the best way to do it.
I'm sure we're done with trivia.
Everybody.
We'll probably get rid of trivia and replace it with caller with how that went. So
Wait, what?
Never mind.
Probably replace me? What you said?
I said replace the trivia segment with the caller segment with how that went.
We should go head-to-head on trivia with these guys.
Actually, I was going to say that the Boston Sports Trivia segment is canceled. It's
Why?
now called Stump the Mullen. And it's under development. Or maybe we'll do something.
That would be cool if you bring callers into play.
Yeah, if they can beat Jesse.
Stump the Mullen.
They take a
Best
spot.
I've heard.
That sounds disgusting.
It has to be something better than that name. But I like the reference. But I have heard of one person. I'll give a shout out to Mike Sosa. I don't have the proof, but it's claimed that he has the same record as me through the two. That he's 14 for 20 through the two trivias. So shout out Mike for that. Maybe we'll have you on sometime to go at it with me. But all right, let's get this car segment.
I called Norman. I told him to call me. The call should be in. Here we go. It should be coming in any second. But hey, if they beat you, they take your spot.
You want me to pull up some questions for you guys right on the fly right here?
I think Norm's going to kind of talk to us, right? He's got stuff to say.
Yeah, Norman just wants to give his opinion on something.
I have something that I want to ask Norman. I don't know if I mentioned in front of you. I did mention in front of you, right?
Yeah, the MVP.
Yeah, I want to ask him about because I know he has a LeBron jersey and he has a Giannis jersey, and he's always been a Giannis D-rider.
And Norm's been a supporter.
Who's your NBA MVP before he comes on? I'm going with Bron.
Giannis. I'm not picking LeBron. Not a chance. You think it's gonna be close in the voting?
I do, because it's like whether you value the league leader in assists or if you before. Yeah, all right, we'll get to Norman.
Where is he?
Norman Olden.
We got my friend Norman here, fan of the show, on the line. Norm, you are live with the JDA show. What's going on, man?
Hey guys, how you doing?
How you doing?
First off, just want to say thanks for having me. Big fan of the show. Listened to every episode so far.
Hey, inaugural caller here, so that's pretty special. We're happy to have you.
You sound nervous.
No, I've been drinking a little for
I love it.
We love it. We love it. What do you got to say? You got anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I definitely. First off, I just want to say how fucking excited I am that NBA's back tomorrow.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
I think it's going to be interesting. Just all the games are going to be, mean something.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
I think the Celtics are going to wrap up that 2 spot. No problem.
Love that. How do you think the Celtics fare in the long term? You think you like their chances to make the NBA Finals, or are you going with your Milwaukee Bucks?
I think they can make the finals. They have their home and away records are pretty much the same, so not worried about that.
Yeah.
But
no, Norm, I want a prediction. Are the Celtics in the finals? Yes or no? It's a yes or no answer.
Yes, against the Lakers, but the Lakers beat them.
Ooh, I love it. That's fine. Celtics-Lakers rematch, the battle.
I think you drank some of Jesse's delusion. But,
what are you drinking, Norm?
A little bit of Corona.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
You got any lime with that, or just Corona plain?
I got a couple.
Nice.
Right now.
Perfect. Well, I guess we'll keep it on the basketball segment. I told RJ and Andy I really wanted to get your opinion on this because I know you love both players. MVP race. It's come down to 2 of your NBA titans, 2 of your inspirational people. You got LeBron and Giannis. Who's your MVP and why?
It's got to be LeBron.
Love
I know
it.
Giannis has the better team record. Yes, that's great and all. But LeBron still has a great record with the Lakers.
Yep.
He hasn't played. He's having arguably his best year.
Yep.
Year 17 or whatever it is.
Yep.
I mean, leads the league in assists, top 6 in scoring.
Yep. 20. He's got like 25 a game, 10.5 assists, and he's still getting those boards. You already know that, and you definitely got to take that age into account. Love that answer.
Norm, what's your take on LeBron on steroids? Because I think he's on roids.
Not on steroids. Could easily dominate the NFL at tight end.
Oh, I love it. Thank you for throwing that in.
What do you expect?
Thank you.
He's got a LeBron shrine in his room or something.
Do you really, Norm?
No LeBron shrines.
I know you got some other stuff you want to get to, Norm, so go for it.
Real quick, I just want to say that I'm hoping the Grizzlies, my young Bucks, the Grizzlies can squeeze in the 8th seed. But the NBA's favorite team, the Pelicans, they have the easiest remaining schedule, so it'll be interesting.
Why do you want the Grizzlies in?
He's a big. If you don't know Norman, he's been a big grit and grind guy since they were making Western Conference Finals runs back in the Zebo days. Yeah. Norman's just the walking definition of grit and grind. So yeah.
Are you more of a Celtics fan or a Grizzlies fan, though?
Celtics.
I think you're lying, but it's all right.
Anything else in NFL, MLB? Any other words you got for us?
Yeah, NFL. I noticed the Patriots have some players opting out not to play.
Yeah.
And I know there's a couple free agents left. I was surprised to see Jadeveon Clowney as a free agent.
Yeah, we brought him up earlier.
Yeah, I would love to see them bring him in. Do you think these guys opting out for the Pats is going to hurt their chances overall, or do you think they're still going to roll without him?
It obviously hurts them a little bit, but I still think they got a good shot. I love the signing of Cam.
Regular season record. What do you think their record is?
I'm gonna go on the real ballsy on this one. 11-5.
Ooh, I like it. I'm more in the 9-7, 10-6 boat, but I think they're getting in the playoffs regardless of what they need for a record.
Well,
so
Norman thinks they're going 11-5 because of Cam Newton. So Norm, you got a feeling on what we're going to see with Cam Newton this season?
Yeah, obviously when he's on, he's on, and when he's off, he's absolutely terrible. First full season after coming off that second shoulder surgery, that torn rotator cuff, so it'll be interesting to see.
it's a tough
He
one
looks
for
good,
a
all
guy
those
like him.
hype videos, workout videos. He seems motivated. A lot of teams passed on him. Panthers kind of screwed him. I'm excited to see what he does. I'm not expecting like a crazy MVP stat, MVP season, but
Hey,
21 total touchdowns, 14 turnovers.
21. That'd be horrible. I hope he has better stats than that. Hey, I gotta say, he's the odds making leader for AP NFL Comeback Player of the Year, and I gotta say that if he plays a full season with the Pats, I don't see why that wouldn't be his award. But yeah.
So Norm, before we go, do you have any tips to fatherhood?
Yeah, it's been great so far. She's got some teeth coming in.
I asked for a tip, not how it's going.
Yeah, we don't care about how your life is.
I mean, we don't care about that. We just want some tips.
Yeah.
Yes, it doesn't seem like you got a good grasp on what's going on.
Is Corona the best tip?
Yeah, I mean, we still recklessly take her out and stuff, so.
I think he was talking about the beer, Corona, not the actual virus. All right, Norm, you got anything you want to say before we let you go?
Norm, do you have work tomorrow?
I do not have work tomorrow.
Hey, attaboy. Love to hear it.
And I work nights, so.
We caught him on a night off.
God, we're lucky.
All right, Norm, is that it? You got anything you want to say going out the door?
There was something. Oh, real quick, I think the Patriots, it's going to be ballsy. I think they should sign Jordan Reed. I know he's high injury prone, but
Ooh, I like that.
they don't really have any tight ends, any studs, so.
Jordan Reed could die if he plays football again.
He wasn't even on my radar. That's a good idea.
Maybe throw him like $500K
to die.
League minimum.
All right, Norm. We thank you for joining us, and as always, we appreciate the support. You've been day one, so we obviously appreciate that big time.
Norm, thanks, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Norm.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yep,
absolutely.
Speed. Good job. See ya.
You're a great father.
Thank you.
All right, that one, I love that.
That was good. All right. So we got one more caller.
First time, long time there.
Yeah. So we got my cousin Zach. It's going to call in. He just wants to ask us a couple of questions, and then that's pretty much going to be it for us.
Cousin Zach.
Yeah, he's 18. So.
Cousin Zach, cousin Zebo.
Yep.
Oh, he's 18.
I think that went pretty well. Yeah.
That was a good
Norman texted me saying, make sure you don't hang up on me right away. I want to say something. So I thought he was going to say something good about us.
What, do you think we were going to hang up on him?
Yeah, I was like, dude, I'm not just going to hang up on you.
I was thinking about it.
You almost hit the hang up
I
on
know,
me.
when I went to go tap
After
it,
hearing that he texted you that would be pretty funny if you accidentally hung up on him.
I was like, fuck, I wish I hit it.
We love Norm out here.
We got my cousin Zach here on the line.
Zebo, welcome to the show.
Our second caller ever. Zach, how's it going?
It's going good.
That's good to hear. You sound nervous.
Maybe a little bit.
Hey, what's on your mind tonight? What's something you want to get into?
Well, I got a good question. Why in a 60-game season has Roenick benched Bogarts, and Bogarts has been benched twice in only 4 games that they've played?
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible.
We talked about that earlier. What do you think about the possibility that they're tanking?
I just after the first game they were hot. They played the Orioles, which isn't a hard thing to do, I guess. It's like a participation trophy. But now they look horrible. It's just one night after another.
Well, that pitching staff is not major league level at all. But I know there was another question you wanted to ask us about the whole Dodgers situation, because we haven't got to that yet. The whole Joe Kelly situation. How do you feel about that?
Well, so the Astros have been caught cheating.
Cheaters.
For sure. So my question is, I kind of want to know your guys' opinion on that, and how Joe Kelly decided to throw at some heads, and he's not the first pitcher to do it. And do you guys think that that's a little bit too harsh of a punishment, considering they gave the Astros little to no punishment?
Yeah, none of the Astros players got suspended.
I absolutely think 8 games is such an over-punishment. When you have a 60-game season, and I think he's already been through 4 or 5 games with the Dodgers. So
how many times has Joe Kelly been suspended, though?
I mean,
This isn't the first time he's thrown at people.
You gotta think that
if you're throwing behind them at their heads,
8 games.
They don't take that shit.
That's
lightly.
like a
Fucking
7th
plug him in the belly.
season.
He can't do it though because he's the most inaccurate pitcher ever. He's probably trying to hit them in the ass and throwing it way up.
Yeah, I don't love him throwing at their heads. I wish he'd just throw it right at their back.
Yeah.
But
hit him in the knee. Hit him in the ACL.
Those Astros players have it coming, and Correa made some comments in spring training, but yeah, he should appeal that.
Yeah, 8 games
suspension.
8 games is ultimately too much, but also the taunting pouting was hilarious as he was walking off.
Dude, he
great.
If this is just in Joe Kelly, just within the last few hours, he says he'd like to apologize to absolutely fluking nobody on his Instagram, and he's posted a picture of him holding his kids with Astro players in his lap as their heads. So Joe Kelly has shown no remorse here. I'm on his side. I'm #free Joe Kelly. Maybe reduce that suspension to 2 games, maybe 4 at the most. 8 games is way too high.
What is this on?
That's on his Instagram page.
That's hilarious.
It was 6 hours ago. Yeah.
Zach, give me your Minnesota. My cousin's a Minnesota Vikings fan. Give me your prediction for the Vikings. Are they going to win the division? What do you think they're going to do? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Honestly, I do not have them winning the division in any way, shape, or form unless Kirk Cousins is not the starting quarterback.
Wow, he's the anti-Cousins guy.
Yeah,
no Diggs. How are you sad Stephon Diggs is gone, or what do you feel about that?
I am extremely upset that Diggs is gone.
Vikings
I think
legend.
that him and Thielen there was a absolutely just filthy wide receiving core.
Yeah.
One that matches up like no other, especially when you have in your backfield Dalvin Cook.
Yep.
But I mean, I guess it doesn't matter when you have Kirk Cousins throwing passes 6 feet over their heads.
You see him more than any of us do, and we already know that he's pretty average. So
I like Kirk Cousins.
I take your word for that, Zebo.
All right, Zach, you got anything else you want to get to before we let you go? Anything else?
No,
anything you want to just yell at us about, debate us on? Anything you've heard us say that you don't agree with?
No, I think I'm good.
Hey, I'd like to say something. I just want to say congratulations on graduating high school through the end of this crazy COVID year. Good job and good luck. I believe you're going to, Mass Maritime? That's a good thing for you. Proud of you, kid.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Justin.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I guess I'm proud of you, too. All right. Thanks for calling
Zach,
in,
I don't know you, but I'm proud of you, bud.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for calling in, Zach. Thanks for the support, as
See you,
always.
Zebo.
Peace.
All right. See ya.
He was definitely a little nervous there.
Yeah, who wouldn't be?
I get nervous before I do this show every time. But you guys got anything else you want to get into before we get out of here?
No, I like the caller segment. If you want to be considered for the caller segment, feel free to slide into our DMs on our Twitter page.
$5 a minute. No refunds.
Nah.
Hey, if you want to sponsor us too.
Yeah, if your dad has a company, he wants to throw some money.
Can we get like a Patreon so they can just like?
Well, I know you
give us
work
money?
for your stepdad's company. Why don't we get something working with that?
Oh, some advertisements.
Yeah, why don't we get it? We'll put his name on. Maybe you could just give us each 10 grand.
I'll read off an advertisement for free just to sound cool and professional. That we have sponsors. But
maybe I want to read the ad. But
why you got such an ego all the time?
Oh God. Anyways, guys, it's been great. I got nothing else to say.
There was something else I was going to say to you. Whatever, I can't remember. But
I'll read the ad.
Okay, well, we will talk.
I'd be open to that. I don't mind egos, but
enjoy the games this weekend. He doesn't want. Hey, enjoy the games this weekend, and we will talk to you next week. We are back to our regular schedule, an episode a week
with some actual sports to talk about.
Some real sports to talk about
until they get canceled.
That's not funny.
Or we get canceled.
That's just a horrible negative note to leave off on. All right, thanks for listening. Peace.
See ya.